What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Sweatwater Fishing. As many of y'all know, last week we were unable to put out a video because of the polar vortex that came through Texas. So sorry about that, guys. We were out of power and water for a few days, but everybody's good and everybody's safe. And we hope that everybody else is as well. So today, like I said, we're going to be going over the sougayilang or sougayilang, the 5/6 fly rod, 9 foot. Let's go have a look. All right, now that we're here at the desk, we can have a little bit in-depth look at this 5/6, 9 foot, 4-piece fly rod. And so whenever you get this, whether it's on Amazon or eBay, you're gonna get a protected bag, kind of a semi-hard bag for your rod, and it may be just like this one, or it may be a little bit different. So let's go ahead and open her up and see some of the things that it comes with. So if you'll open up the first pouch, and then in here there's a couple things that will be coming in the pocket or somewhat, as this this rod combo setup does not come the reel won't come pre-spooled. So there will be a leader in here, and your backing and your fly line will all be inside, as well as a couple other things. So let's look at this first. This is got one of them little cheap retractable lanyards with your nipper tool. It's got a little poker on the side. Now I've used it a few times to clip a few of the lines to practice in, and it works okay, but we'll probably be upgrading to just a better one. And then inside here they send it with a few flies. Not this one, I added that one, but this side comes with some really cheap generic flies. But hey, to me they worked out pretty good for practice, so is what it is. Now this whole rod combo setup I think is one of the best because it's under $100. So as you see on the inside, I've already got my leader and tippet in there. One of the mistakes I made without doing the calculation was how much fly backing to put on my reel, and I've put too much as is. This fly line, as to typical fly line, typical fly line's only 80 to 90 feet. This one was 100 feet. So not only did I probably put too much backing on here, but I've also got a longer fly line, and it's causing it to rub. But this is the fly line that it came with, so I'm sure it's pretty super cheap, and it's great for practice in my opinion. But I will be upgrading the line. Same with the leader. I have ordered other leaders to complete my set, and we'll go over that in another video. This is the leader that it came with, and then there is some extra tippet tied on, just because I was trying to learn how to tie tippet on. But anyways, let's get into this. So my reel came separate in a little bag from the rod. I assembled it on here. You've got two locking nuts here. It keeps it very secure. I have not had this thing move at all. One of the things I did have to do though is, for me casting right hand and stripping left hand, I had to switch the bearing in here. That way the drag would be going the right direction. So that is one thing that if you don't know how to do, we'll make another video for that. But as far as the drag on here, it seems to be pretty good for this price anyways. It is just a nylon, a disc drag, which is okay, and that's to be seen in most average reels anyways. It's a carbon rod, and one of the things you'll see in some of your more higher end rods, which is nice, it's got lineup dots. So like I said, this is a 4-piece. Let's look at these numbers here. See if I can focus on that without too much glare. There we go. 9 foot, 5/6 weight line. Dempsey model SG 4905. All right, let's go ahead and assemble this, guys. So this is a 4-piece, and since it's such a long rod, I like to assemble the smaller pieces together, lining up the dots. Don't push it in real hard yet. Turn it a quarter turn or an 1/8 turn away, press it in, and then turn to lock it into place. And you won't have any troubles with this rod. It has so much flex in it when casting and retrieving a fish, that you want to make sure that you get these joints locked really well. That way you don't start slinging rod pieces while you're trying to cast or retrieve. Now, not all of the dots are going to be spaced the same, as you can see, so don't really worry about that too much. You'll be able to feel how tight you can be able to put this together. And for the final piece here, all right. Now that we've got our rod completely together, I don't know if you can see the tip way back over there front. It's a very long rod. They have some bigger than this. So everything that I've been watching, because I know nothing about fly fishing. I think that's just what it is. But where we're moving, I wanted to learn, because it's going to be one of the probably most used ways of fishing up there, because we have a lot of streams and rivers where we are, and less lakes close by. So I wanted to learn. So where did I go? I went to YouTube, and I am not affiliated with, I'm not sponsored with this other channel that I'm about to mention, but they're amazing, and they are professionals. They have a school. They don't do this just for fun. Mad River Outfitters on YouTube. I'll post a link down here and in the description below. That way they can get the credit that they are deserved. Go in and watch their playlist on getting started in fly fishing. But don't do the old one. There's an old one on there, and then there's a new one. I think one from '96. Anyways, I'll make sure that I put the playlist link in the description below for you guys. They're amazing. There's like 14 videos in that little episode, and they go through everything. They go through casting, what fly rods can be used for, what their weights are for, and we're going to kind of go through that as well in a more condensed, just brief overview. So that'll be in a video, and then we're also going to go over necessary items to get started in fly fishing, whether it's on the coast or it's in a stream in the backwoods. I forgot to mention, as I was stringing this rod here, since you got the leader and tippet on your line is going to be pretty close to the length of your rod. So I've got a 9-foot leader on here, and I've got maybe a foot or so shy from cutting off flies and getting it stuck in a tree, because that's happened. Believe me, the more I've become confident in my casting, I try to put myself in more precarious situations to force myself to keep that line tight and get it in low, try to bring it more to closer conditions of what I'll be fishing up in New Mexico. But anyways, as I was saying, you got this really long leader and tippet. You're not gonna, and the tippet size on the tippet on the end is very, very small. And to feed that through all these eyes is just ridiculous. So what you do is you would pull off. Let me just go back and do it again for you guys. How about that? Because that's what this video is for. So I've unstrung some line. I'm gonna go to the end of the line where my fly line and my leader have connected, right? This is BS getting in there. And this is easy. Just fold over a little bit. You see I'm not far from the end. You just fold it over and you just feed it. Just feed it through. Nice and easy. See? Well, I'm trying to watch it in the camera and do it at the same time. That don't work. I should just make sure I can get it. So I've got my fly line all the way to the tippity tip, all the way out. You see I don't have all of it out. You can just kind of give it a little pull there. And then something I like to do, instead of pulling it completely all the way out and getting it all strung out and have to reel it back up, because I may tie here or at the truck instead of right there on the water. Anyways, so I don't have to do that. Just give it a little shake, boom. And now my leader is out and we can tie on our fly. I don't have to do a bunch of struggling, because let's say I'm on the canoe. This thing's 9 foot. That's over half the length of my boat. There's no way I could get this little thin line all the way through. Anyways, let's get back to the review of this. So, for probably a week on casting, I casted every day. I'd get out here in the street at dark whenever there wasn't a bunch of cars coming through, and I'd just cast, and I'd learn, and I'd try to struggle, and I'd make it pop, and I'd snag it in trees, and it'd hook on this, and it'd ball up in a ball at the end, trying to reach out there. I watched Mad River Outfitters, and I learned how to double haul a little bit. I think I can cast out there at least 80 feet. So it's gonna be pretty cool. And we're gonna go through all that with you guys if you are wanting to follow along, because hey, we're gonna be getting into trout fishing. Now, as far as this rod goes in particular, we're gonna put this up against some other store-bought brand names, because we all know I can't just have one rod, right? But anyway, after trying out a couple different rods, Orvis, Clearwater, the Orvis Clearwater, I cast an Echo, and a couple others. To me, all rods kind of feel the same, but this one does not. This one is a lot noodlier. Whenever I'm casting, this is a 6-weight, by the way. This is a 6-weight line on here. It came with that, and I'm going down to a 5-weight line because of this noodle. Can you see that, guys? Can y'all see that? It just noodles like crazy. This is a super. Let me get this line here. Looking like a tard. Anyways, that's this line. You can see it is a medium, mid to full action. All right, so at the end of the day, what do we get from buying a sougayilang rod? Well, one, it gives us the ability to practice and learn and see if this is even something that we want to do. Two, we can catch fish with this. I don't see why not. You know, upgraded line, even with the line that was on it, I'm sure we could catch something. It may be, you know, a panfish or, you know, a very small trout, but the rod's a rod. As one of the guys that's really huge in the fly fishing sport said, the rod itself is nothing but an overly expensive pointing tool. All the casting is done with the line and your hands, not the rod. All the rod does is help you. Now, would I recommend this to anybody? Absolutely. I think it was like 86 bucks. It gets you everything you need to get started to get out here and just start casting. See if you can catch something. Catching's up to you, not up to the rod. Let me know what y'all think. If any of y'all have a sougayilang rod, let me know what you think. What were your setups? What did you change? Let's have fun fishing. God bless.